Hello and welcome back to the third round. It is going to be a relatively simple video today. I have a few models in the collection I call my drawer queens. They are items that have never hit the tracks since I bought them. There are many reasons for that, ranging from lack of matching stock to not fitting a particular topic or theme, for example. Inactivity is a model's worst enemy, so I spent an afternoon giving a few of them a run. This is the background of today's video. So it is likely to feel a bit disjointed in places because of the variety of models, but if you don't mind that, you can stay with me for a bit and see what the collection has been hiding all this time. On the way, in usual the third rail fashion, I'll pepper the footage with a few factoids here and there. Quick thing before we set off, it is low season for model railways, it's summer now. A time where all your interactions with the channel count even more than usual. So if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe and alert button before leaving today. Super thanks are also available if you feel the content deserves it. Whatever the option you choose will be very much appreciated. Many thanks. Now on to our topic. We'll start with something quirky and French. This is a Michelin Type 11, Marklin model number 3124, that joined the collection about 10 years ago, I'd say. It is the first of quite a few versions of this model Marklin made subsequently. Look at how tiny that thing is on my hand. And here it is again behind a 3031 for comparison. Absolutely minuscule, isn't it? Now, the model was announced in 1989. It could be pre-ordered then for delivery in mid-1990. If you are not aware, the Michelin is a family of rail buses designed by the French tire maker Michelin, hence the name. That all happened in the 1930s. The original concept aimed primarily at improving the comfort of passengers using wheels fitted with pneumatic tires instead of full steel wheels. Tires have a much lower capacity than steel wheels, so to keep the weight down and the number of wheels down as well, Michelin railcars were engineered using a combination of automotive and aviation technologies. The result was a smooth-riding vehicle, which was faster than a lot of steam locomotives of the time. The better adherence combined with powerful engines and the light construction gave it a car-like behavior in terms of acceleration and braking. The model we have running now would have been known as a Michelin 24 seats. I think it is meant to represent the very first of a total of 11 units forming the entire production series of this type. They were in service between 1932 and 1939. Now I've put a few links in the description if you want to investigate the topic a bit more. It's a nice little thing, isn't it? Okay, time for our next victim. What we have on the track now doesn't require any introduction, I think. So the locomotive is a 3054. This one hasn't come out much because of my laziness. I tend to use the TEE box set from the early 80s because it means less unpacking and packing after use. The locomotive in the set is identical to this one, so you might have seen one of those on the channel on a few occasions. To go with the locomotive, I got a classic combination of tinplate intercity coaches though, which I haven't taken out for a very, 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 very long time either. It must be 5 or 6 years. The coaches are, dare I say, mint. Check these roofs out. The locomotive has seen some action, but it still looks very good, or even better considering this model probably has the most sensitive paint job of any Michelin model ever produced. Right, let's enjoy it for a bit. It never gets old, if you like tinplate or nostalgia, of course. But tinplate wasn't very good for performance. I tend to use the longer plastic 27 centimeter coaches for this reason. But it's still a very, very nice sight. Right, enough of this for now. Next. Now we have something rather strange. This is a 3111, a Bavarian S36 in a Belgian livery. It has been waiting for me to find some matching stock to run it with, and it is only recently that I researched the topic and found out that this will never happen. So I have put 4040 tinplate coaches behind it for now. It's a good way to use them too. Look at that. It is the same tooling as the 3091 or 3092 or maybe 3318, 3618, all the S36s Michelin produced in the 70s, 80s and 90s. So it's likely to be a good runner. The livery is beautifully done, with plenty of gold accents everywhere. The model just oozes quality. Unfortunately, everything goes downhill from there. Belgium did receive a few S36s as war reparation in 1919. 3 units to be precise. I think it took a while to allocate them, and they ended up working on the Brussels to Ostend line for a maximum of 18 months, probably between 1921 and 1922, as some were caught on camera in Brussels North Station in 1922. They were then taken out of service and transferred to the east of Belgium, where they were quickly parked and officially withdrawn in 1923. They were then dismantled in 1924. During their short life in Belgium, they were never assigned a Belgian class number, nor did they receive a brown livery. As corroborated by the photographs, the locomotives kept their Bavarian livery. Large white markings using the original running number were used to identify them. So this model in its current state is a complete fantasy. I had long thought Orient Express cars would be ideal for it, but the Ostend-Vienna services only resumed after World War I in 1925. And the luxury train Rheingold from the Reichsbahn only started in 1928. Shame, really. It does run well though, and that with no service whatsoever, no oil, no traction tires. Okay, on to our next victim. This one is not a drawer queen quite yet, but it's about to become one. But some of you have told me off for barely mentioning this model when it appeared briefly in my last checkpoint a few videos ago. So I'm making good. This is a 3153, a class 120 of the Deutsche Bundesbahn, here as a special edition of the 150th year of the railways in Germany that happened in 1985. Now, I dedicated a video to the class 120. I've put a little link at the top, so I won't spend any time on the story today. This model represents the first prototype of the class. It pulled a few intercities here and there, but spent most of its life in front of measurement trains or being shown off in exhibition. Now, we've seen an intercity already today, so I went the non-realistic route for this one and grabbed a few exhibition coaches, as Michelin called them. They are all based on the 4134 express car or fast train car released in 1984. So we have a Marklin branded coach, reference number 4121, this one's from 1984. The Generalkarte coach, it's reference 4122 from 1985. The Cats, the musical coach, that was a special edition from 1989. This one arrived as part of a lot. I wouldn't have bought it. As far as I know, it was commissioned by a chain of toy shops at the time. And then we have the Umweltzug, the environmental train. It's reference number 4190 from 1984. Apparently, the prototype actually existed, but I can't find any information or photos of the real thing. So if you have any, Let me know in the comments. There we go. Those who wanted to see more of the loco should not be satisfied. I thought we should finish the video on a funny note. I couldn't resist a bit of childish fun when I was running the 3054 we saw earlier. So I turned the transformers all the way up and I immediately found my 11-year-old inner self. Let me turn the sound up a notch now. That is probably what most 3054s did by then. That was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, hopefully enough for you to give it a like. Maybe subscribe if you haven't already done so, or even send a super thanks my way if you feel the video was worth it. Thanks as ever for all your support, and bye for now.